Hello, everyone, and thank you for patiently waiting. And hello, Nathan. It's nice to meet you. Basically, we're joined here today with IBM. I'll be your host, Josh from Career Map TV. And IBM are going to go through everything apprenticeships. As you can see, we've got two great people here that are going to run through a presentation for you. So yeah, without further ado, I'll pass it over to you and feel free to leave any questions for the Q&A at the end. Thank you.
All right, sweet. Hey, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Firstly, can you hear me as well?
I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, thank you guys all for joining. I guess we'll start off by doing introductions. And then, yeah, like, as you said, go through all about like apprenticeships and that stuff. We're in slightly different schemes, but both degree apprentices. But yeah, I guess I'll go first, if that's all right with you, Isabella.
Yeah.
So yeah, my name's Nathan John. I'm currently a level 6 degree apprentice doing digital and technology solutions. So it's kind of like the closest to a computer science degree if you were to go down the traditional like uni pathway. It's got a bit of a mix of business and maths in it as well. But to give a bit of background into, I guess, my journey into an apprenticeship, grew up in South London, and I'd say I was from more humble beginnings. The type of people I was around when I was younger were definitely more involved in like the street life and that stuff. And the situation I was in back then as well, I didn't want to go to uni and get into debt and all of that stuff. So seeing that an apprenticeship, I could start getting paid, get a degree for free, all of that stuff that we'll cover later, was a big plus for me. And yeah, applied to a bunch of different places and got into IBM, luckily. So yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Well, hi everyone. Thank you for the introduction, by the way, Nathan. Really inspiring story. And yeah, well, my name's Isabella. It's written here. I'm not sure if it's cut out a bit. I'm quite small, I think, on the bottom of the screen. But I'm currently doing a UX design degree apprenticeship. And then I started at IBM as an intern. So I did kind of a futures year. And then after that 1 year, I decided to do the degree apprenticeship with them. I'm not going to go too much into it about internships and degree apprenticeships and those benefits because we'll be covering that later. But I guess one question I get a lot is, what is UX design? So I'm going to cover this now because later on we'll focus more on internships and degree apprenticeships. But UX stands for user experience. So I basically do research to understand the people. I kind of learn around the psychology and how people interact with technology. And then based on that, I identify issues in people's journeys and then fix it using design. So I do a bit of like psychology, research, and art kind of all combined together. But yeah, that's just a quick overview of my background. So moving forwards, we're going to start with our A-levels. Nathan?
Yeah, thanks for that, Isabella. So for my A-levels, I did business, computer science, and maths. I say I was quite lucky in the fact that they all quite nicely linked to the degree that I'm doing now. But I remember my first like 2 weeks of doing maths, I tried to drop out. And my teacher said to me, give it another week or give it another 2 weeks, and then we'll let you like switch or whatever. So I said, okay, cool. And I left it for a week or so. And then I came back to them and they told me, oh no, sorry, it's too late now to drop maths. So I kind of got swindled into keeping it, but ended up here, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, that's the A-levels I did.
Nice. Well, mine's a bit different. There's no kind of correlation in what I picked. I just picked what I really enjoyed and what I did good at. I really enjoyed geography. But yeah, geography I found interesting. I felt like I could relate to a lot of it and apply it to, I guess, everyday life. Art, I feel like this was kind of a subject, kind of take a break, and instead of like memorizing and writing, it's more kind of creative, put on some music, and they didn't have exams in the end. You just had like a big final piece. So one less subject to study. And then psychology, because I guess this was a bit related to kind of sciences, but I wasn't too good at sciences or like maths as well. So I was like, psychology is like midway. It's not 100% numbers, not 100% kind of biology, that bit, but it was a bit more kind of interesting in my mind. But yeah. And there's the 3 A levels. As much as they're different, they actually kind of play into a key role and key part of my work that I do today. So UX is basically a combination of these 3 subjects, looking back now, which is really interesting. But yeah, I basically chose what I found interesting. I didn't know if I wanted to do UX later on, to be honest, but yeah.
I think it's probably good to note as well that like the A levels that we did, I know people that did like hugely different A levels to the degree that they're doing now, the apprenticeship that they're doing now. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like tech related, or you have to do maths or something like that. Like it doesn't necessarily matter the subjects you do. I guess it's more your attitude towards like learning and your progression, development, all of that kind of stuff. And I guess part of that is evident through like the grades that you get in your A levels. Yeah, but yeah, just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, 100% agree. So I think one question I get quite a bit is, did I know that I wanted to apply into an internship in year 12? No, I did not know what I wanted to do in year 12. I didn't know if I wanted to do design or UX. I didn't know if I wanted to do a degree apprenticeship, internship, university. I had no idea. I came across the IBM internship scheme when I was doing research on actually getting some work experience, because I was like, I don't know exactly what I want to do 100%, but I don't want to commit 4, 5 years or 3 years of my life to a degree that then I wasn't sure about. So I guess my thinking was, if I could find some work experience, then I'm able to get a bit of a taste of what I'd like, I guess. But yeah, that's a bit about, yeah, my past around why I didn't know, like, why I wanted to have an internship or my career path in the future. So for those who don't know what internships is, it's an opportunity for you to be able to kind of like get to know a bit about your subject area without having any of that kind of study stress, and that commitment of like 3 to 4 years as a degree. And no, you don't get a degree after the internship, but you do get a year's paid work experience. You also get a taste of what you're doing before you commit. You also manage to network in there, so it's really important. I made loads of industry contacts within IBM, but also this can be one of the preferred routes to an IBM degree apprenticeship. So not all companies do offer kind of like an internship year, like straight after sixth form, but IBM does offer one called a futures scheme, and that really appealed to me because it gave me the opportunity to understand and discover what I wanted to do. And this is what kind of helped me discover my passion for UX, and then led for me to take the degree apprenticeship in UX. But now I'm going to ask you, Nathan, did you know if you wanted to do a degree apprenticeship in year 12?
I think I say I did. So I was very, I guess, interested in like technology as a whole. I think all of the kind of like advancements in tech. I had a very good computer science teacher in like year 11, year 10. And so he kind of got me to switch on a bit, I guess, in computer science. So yeah, really like tech. So I'd say I had like a passion for tech when I was in secondary school. So I knew I wanted to go into it, but I didn't know exactly what in technology I wanted to do. So for those of you guys that are studying computer science now, or you would have done computer science at some point, either at uni or A levels, you know, a lot of it is like you kind of do coding and you learn about other bits and pieces, but not in as much detail. You don't have as much like practical elements to it, right? So that's all I was exposed to. And so I thought, oh yeah, maybe software engineer. But I think the good thing about this degree apprenticeship is you get a chance to move around and try different things out. So now I'm working in cybersecurity. I'm essentially doing like a security architect's role. So I do a lot of like design reviews, threat modeling, for those of you that may know what that is. But yeah, that was, I guess, one of the main reasons why I chose to do the IBM apprenticeship, was because I could get a chance to move around and see what I liked, see what I didn't like, all of that kind of stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, next question is, what are the degree apprenticeship benefits?
Yeah, for sure. So I think I kind of alluded to some of them a bit earlier by mistake, my bad. But yeah, as you guys can see on the screen, firstly, you're treated the same as a normal employee. So you're full-time. It's not like you have any, I guess, differentiation between you and someone else that's like an experienced hire. So you get paid a salary as well. You're 80% on the job, 20% off the job, which means that you'll work 4 days during the week, and then 1 day out of the week you'll be at university. So I'm at Exeter University. I can't remember what university you're at as well.
I'm at Manchester Met University.
Manchester Met, fair. Okay, cool. So for each of us, we'll have our uni day during the week. I think we have different days. Mine's on a Wednesday this year. I think it was on a Friday.
Some people have it like on Wednesday, on Fridays. Also, is quite popular. So yeah.
It kind of depends like what uni you end up with. But yeah, you have 1 day out of the week to do the uni work, and then the other 4 days you'll be working in your role, in your team as usual, like a normal full-time employee. I guess one of the good things, I guess, about the apprenticeship as well is that definitely for me, I can say I learned better through like trial and error and like just doing things rather than reading it out of a textbook. So being able to learn something in uni and then actually get to like see it happening. Or I was doing some coursework yesterday, and there was a part of the module that I didn't even really need to go over because I do it like in my day-to-day job. So it was more of a refresher than anything. So that's nice. There's that, I guess, overlap in certain aspects. Obviously, you get to grow your network as well. I think that's been a big thing for both of us, to be fair. Like, the people that you meet with in the company and outside of the company, like, and definitely say for me, some people I've met have like changed my life, like changed my perspective on work and on other things, like just even my personal growth and all of that stuff. So that's a massive point that I didn't look at or think about when I was in sixth form or even earlier looking to do an apprenticeship. And then the events as well. The events are cool. Get some merch at some events. Get to meet really cool people. Some of them have good like topics. Free food at some of them as well. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I can see that there's many people putting lots of questions in the chat. So if it's okay with you, Nathan, I think it'll be good for us to kind of pause for a second before we go to the next bit and answer some of these questions in relation to internships and degree apprenticeships.
Yeah, for sure.
The first one was, do you need to have gone to uni or currently be in an education to be in an internship? No, you didn't. Like, I was in sixth form, but they didn't ask about kind of sixth form or anything. You don't need to be currently in some kind of like work or university or sixth form. You don't have to do that. I did it in my gap year, so that's when I applied. We do have two different kind of pathways here at IBM. We have a futures year, which is like straight after sixth form, you decide to join for 1 year. Like, I know when I say straight after sixth form, it isn't like, how do I explain this in a way? You could have like 2 gap years after sixth form and then still apply to this futures year. It doesn't have to be like, I finished, now I have to start again. No, you can take that time and decide to apply later on. But we also have a placement year, which is if you're already in university in your third or I believe second or third year, you can come to IBM and do 1 year of work experience at IBM. And I believe they have one in design, tech, and business. Same thing for the futures year. So these are like 2 different programs that we have. but they're very similar in the way that they work. Next question is, Nathan, this is for you. 1 second, I'm reading through all of them. There's a lot. How about senior learners? Can they also do apprenticeships?
I'm going to assume by senior learners you mean like someone who's done a degree already, or like someone who's, I guess, past the sixth form and uni kind of stage. And I think, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you can do an apprenticeship or a degree apprenticeship as long as it's not the same subjects. So yeah, if you've done a degree in like marketing or something like that, or geography, then coming on and doing like a technology degree apprenticeship, yeah, that'll be fine. There's no like age restriction or anything like that.
Adding on to that point as well around degree apprenticeships and kind of the age restriction, in my personal experience in my class, I have some people who've done a previous degree apprenticeship with something completely different and doing another degree apprenticeship with me now. I have people who've had another degree in something else but doing this degree apprenticeship with me now. As long as it's not the same or similar degree, then it's fine. Like if it's digital communications, you did it before, but now you're doing UX design, it's quite similar, so they wouldn't allow it. I think another thing as well, when you say senior, I'm not sure what exactly you mean by that, but I do have some people with families who are studying in my degree. So like with 2-3 kids as well, and doing the degree apprenticeship along with their full-time job. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Another question I had around internships. Let me see. Studying. Well, I guess this is for both of us, Nathan. We'll see kind of combined knowledge to answer this. Does who have done 1 year of a level 3 can apply for a degree apprenticeship? So I assume, I assume you're already in your level 3 degree apprenticeship, and you're asking if you can apply for a degree apprenticeship. That's what I'm assuming. I'm not sure. I think that if that's the case, I don't think you can do 2 apprenticeships at the same time. So I assume you'd either have to stop the level 3 apprenticeship and then start and apply to a degree apprenticeship, or complete the level 3 and then apply to a degree apprenticeship. Do you think that's like, what do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I think I'd say the same, to be fair. I don't think I've heard of or seen anyone doing 2 at the same time. But yeah, there's loads of people that do like a level 4 and then go on to do a degree apprenticeship, or a level 3 even, and then go on to do a degree apprenticeship after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think you'd have time to do more than one, to be honest, because I already have so much stuff going on. To do 2 apprenticeships would be next level for me.
Yeah.
So someone said, do you need to complete an internship before a degree apprenticeship? No, you don't need to do that. It could be straight out of sixth form. But one thing that you do need is A-levels or something like those grades to be able to apply through the kind of uni portal as if you were applying through UCAS. Currently doing a level 3 diploma in networking, which is equivalent to 1A level. Can I apply for a placement year? Yes, you can apply, I think, for a placement year. Let me think. Currently doing level 3. I'm not sure around a placement year, but you could do like an internship year, because placements, I think, is usually within the university, like 4 years, but they're very similar to in like normal internships.
Yeah.
Can I do a level 3 apprenticeship without a level qualification?
I'm actually not too sure on that one. I don't know if you know.
I'm not sure, but I can get back to that question. Yeah. But I think because it's not a degree, don't think you go through the UCAS portal. So you'd have to have GCSEs for sure, but I don't think I'm not sure about A levels. I'll get back to that in a bit. Are BTECs accepted as an equivalent to an A level? For me, it was because of the UCAS points. So yes, but I think there are some degrees who just accept A levels, but you just would have to check that. But I think that, we'll cover this later on, but Nathan, I think you'd agree that the hardest bit is getting into the company, but once you've gotten in, they'll help you go through the whole school bit. That was very quick.
Yeah, I know some apprentices who were a grade or two below, or a couple grades below the requirements of getting in, but because the company was they really liked the person, they kind of spoke to the uni and made a way for them to get onto the apprenticeship. So yeah, if you've just done A levels in a gap year or whatever, don't let that be a reason to stop you from applying, because you can still get in.
Okay, perfect. So going back to the other question, so the one around, can I do a level 3 apprenticeship without A-level qualifications? It is possible. However, it just depends on the employer. So you have to do research to see their requirements. So when you do apply through a portal to get into the company, they'll usually list, we need these A-levels or these GCSEs, or they might not say anything. So it's just looking through the person and the employer that are hiring, and then they'll write on there if they do require it or not. But for sure, they're going to need a maths and English GCSE to be able to apply. I see there's a lot of questions. So let me see. Where was I? Can I apply straight from an internship? Wait, can I apply for an internship straight after A level? Yes, you can. That's what I did. I applied for something called a futures year in IBM specifically. And this futures year is an opportunity for you to be able to, at the end of that 1 year, you can then try and apply for apprenticeships or degree apprenticeships within IBM. And it tends to be a bit easier as well. You just go for an interview instead of going through the a bit longer application process, but you still have one, but it's a bit shorter than external people, which is good. Okay.
You might have to do, if you want to do one or two more and then go back to.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, let's do one of the, currently doing A-level year 12 with maths, physics and computing. What time to apply for apprenticeships and how to pick the university and course. So I guess this is what we're going to be covering a bit later in the presentation, around the application process when they open and how we picked what we wanted to do. So keep tuned and we'll cover that. Can I do a degree apprenticeship for IBM if I have 4 GCSEs and currently doing a level 3 diploma in networking? Degree apprenticeships usually needs not specific A levels, but UCAS points to be able to apply through the portal. The government portal requires that to be able to get through to do a degree apprenticeship. Nathan, do you agree or?
Yeah, I think it's 120 UCAS points, 180 that you need.
Yeah.
I think it's something around that. But yeah, if you have a qualification that's equivalent to the number of UCAS points that you need to get in, then yeah, you'll, I guess, meet the requirements. If that makes sense.
So always check when you're applying. So we'll go through the application process and everything. So hold your thought. Do keep on adding your questions in either the Q&A only or the chat as well, and then we'll go through that. But we'll just continue for now. It might answer some of your questions. If not, we'll answer the questions in the end and get as many through as we can. Cool. So the next one is around decisions. So how did I make my decision to do UX and the subject that I wanted to do? So something that really helped me is doing a variety of different courses. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do specifically around like if it was kind of more research based, if it was more artsy based, or maybe something in like robotics. So what I did is got some free courses online. I went to Udemy, I went to Coursera. I did some quick ones. I watched some YouTube videos to see what people's kind of what I was going to learn in that degree. I did a few different ones, and then I figured out that actually this isn't really for me. Like these 3D design is too complicated. Didn't really enjoy it. So that really helped me figure it out. Another thing was LinkedIn questions as well. So I did reach out to some current degree apprentices or interns in different companies and also different positions, and asked them politely, like, what was your experience, or how's your experience currently? Are you enjoying what you're doing now? Is it what you expected to be doing? And that really helped me kind of navigate the company, and also what I wanted to do in the future. Third thing is A-level subjects. So I really enjoyed all my A-level subjects. The 3 I picked, I really enjoyed studying them. So I wanted to do something very similar to what I did there. And that turned out to be UX. I don't know if you guys are really like your A-level subjects, but something that I didn't have then that you have now is like AI, right? And ChatGPT. So if you'd like to, you can always put in like your A-level subjects or stuff that you're interested in, and then come up with loads of different types of jobs that are related to these subjects. And then maybe there's some jobs that you don't even know about, and you might want to do some research into that. I guess that could be quite helpful. Yes, UX does mean user experience design. Cool. Passing on to Nathan.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I guess kind of similarly, one of the things I did to make my decision was I did a lot of insight days. So what they called young professionals, and I can't remember. I think it was Uptree.
Yeah, Uptree's good.
They had a lot of insight days for just like technology. So they'd have other companies on there as well. They'd have a company specific insight day, and they're basically where you can find out all about the apprenticeship scheme, type of thing that the company is looking for. And sometimes you'd get to speak to an actual apprentice as well. So get to ask some questions, kind of like what we're doing today. So those are really good and helps me, I guess, find out what people are looking for. I did a couple courses and that stuff as well on Coursera. I think EDX had a couple free ones as well. And then I worked for a tech company in retail. So I guess getting to see tech all the time, it just made it that bit more interesting for me. But then also when I was doing my application, I could speak about my experience there and link that company with IBM and some of the partnerships that company had done with IBM before. So that was pretty cool. And then I'd say my A-levels as well were quite in line with the degree I'm doing now. So it was an easier transition, I guess. So I was like, this links up with what I'm doing now. I guess this makes sense to do.
Nice. Cool. So next question. This is more relating to kind of the company and the pathway that you wanted to take. So did you know where you wanted to apply in year 12? So after you decided, okay, I want to do a degree apprenticeship and I wanted to do it in this subject, how did you decide which company was best for you to apply, or kind of what direction was best for you in kind of a cultural work ethic way?
Sure. Do you want me to go first?
Oh, yeah, you can go first.
Okay, cool.
I can go first. I don't want to put you in a spot.
I think I'd say for me, so there were a couple things I think I was looking for when I was applying for an apprenticeship. So one of the things I spoke about a bit earlier was I wanted to be somewhere where I could move around, because there's some apprenticeships where you get in and you're in that role for the whole 4 years or the whole 3 years or however long it is. And as I said, I knew I wanted to go into technology, but I didn't know exactly what role. So I wanted that kind of like flexibility to move. So that was one of the things. Other thing, I wanted it to be London based. I still live at home now, so I haven't got to pay for like rent and that stuff, which was like, yeah, I guess one of the wants more than a need, to be fair. Like if I had to move out, I would have, but I would have preferred somewhere in London. And then I can't remember the last thing anymore off the top of my head. If it comes back to me, I'll say. But yeah, I think those were some of the main things that I was looking for. And IBM was like, funny enough, was like at the top of my list because it kind of fit my criterias. And I didn't actually get in until, I think IBM was like the last apprenticeship that I applied to. Because when I was applying, it opened later than the other ones. And so I got into that one last, and yeah, it was only by luck that I saw the email. Yeah, and applied and got in.
Nice. My experience was, I guess, a bit more different in the way that I took more of kind of like a numbers approach. So what I did to be able to kind of decide what company I wanted to like start working with is, one, I went through the Rate My Apprenticeship website. That is a really good website to be able to see people's kind of reviews on the company and working there. Also Glassdoor. So I looked at many different companies in specifically design and kind of consulting area. Key reasons in why I picked IBM is, one, because they were like top in both of those different websites in like work ethic, and also the people are really happy working there, which is really good. Second thing is IBM has their own kind of like floor and also group for only designers. So they believe in design for strategy for business outcomes, which is a very big part in why I chose IBM as well. It's not like a nice to have design. They actually like put design forward as really important, which it is, which is why I decided to join them as well. And not only that, is because they're a consultancy. So being a consultancy, that means for me, someone who's learning, I get the opportunity to try out and work in loads of different projects in lots of different areas. So e-commerce, healthcare, and like loads of different areas. So that way I was able to build up my experience, but also my portfolio as well. So that was really, really good for me. And again, similar to Nathan, I wanted somewhere in London, which was close to me. And the work location is really good. I guess the main things is that people really enjoyed working there, and I really enjoy working there now as well. Second thing is the kind of designers, like they are wonderful, and the design group that they have there and sector is really, really good. And third, like IBM really, really values design, and as a designer applying to be a designer there, that's really important to me. So those are key things and why I chose to kind of, go to IBM. Next thing we're going to be doing is talking a bit about what we do in our daily lives as apprentices and as interns. So for me, as a UX designer, so user experience designer, I talk to clients on many calls. I do a lot of interviews. Sometimes it's in person, sometimes it's online. I do a lot of research to understand the person, the issues that they're currently having. I do a lot of kind of design work. So again, as a consultancy, we're not only doing one type of work, so one platform, we're doing loads of different types of design and work in loads of different areas. So I did some branding, I did some graphic design, I did some website design, app designs, software design, loads of different things, building my experience, of course. I do a lot of pitching, so presenting my work to clients. Another thing that I really like as an apprentice here in IBM is that they kind of upskill you in a way that you feel comfortable enough to be able to share your own experience and your own work to clients. So it's not kind of the apprenticeship, I guess, myth that you're going to be giving cups of coffee to people who are more senior. They actually value you as a person and part of your team, which is great. And they do give you responsibility when you're ready, but they also have that support network for you to grow. So I've got a mentor in design, I've got a mentor in my degree apprenticeship, I've got a mentor in university, and also getting like to grips with all my admin as well. So they're very, very supportive as well. Another reason why I went with IBM. I also go to lunch, have some catch ups with my friends, which is great. So a lot of people come into the office, which is really good. Most popular days are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then I also go to a lot of different IBM events. So if you are worried, okay, I'm going to do a degree apprenticeship, I'm going to do an internship, I'm going to be missing out on all that social events and all that, don't worry. Here where we are, we have a lot of stuff going on. We have stuff from learning about AI to pottery painting, to meet new people. So we have a lot of different events, got loads of socializing opportunities, which is great. This is just a picture of some different things. So Christmas event on the top right, on the left is a national apprenticeship webinar that I went to. Yeah, this is just kind of a sneak peek of some things that we've done during in the office. Nathan, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, as well. Yeah, I guess for me, on a daily basis, so a lot of what I do in security is speaking to kind of like engineers and people in delivery teams who will create designs for systems and things of that kind of nature. And essentially making sure those things are like secure. So that's a lot of what I do. Like on a daily basis, I'll be having like calls with people on those teams, or I'll be looking through trying to like understand what some of the terminology and acronyms even mean. Because yeah, even though it's been a year and a bit in this kind of area, there's still things that come up and you're like, I have no clue what this even means or what I'm doing here. So keeps you on your toes, keeps it interesting. Yeah, as I said, kind of like the design reviews and threat modeling, as I mentioned earlier before. And then, yeah, a lot of, I'd say one good thing about like IBM compared to other companies, which I've heard, is there's quite a big range of like apprentices, early professionals, and I guess people from like just different walks of life as well. So it's not too hard to find your people, which I think is great, because I've definitely spoken to apprentices at other companies and they've struggled more to find people to like connect with and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, going for lunch and like having catch-ups with people. I've got a couple mentors now as well, which have definitely like really helped me in terms of my career development, personal development as well. Like outside, learned a whole like bunch from them. So that's definitely something that I'm really grateful for. I kind of do a lot of like public speaking and like talks and that kind of stuff at schools and events and those kind of things as well. So I guess those aren't as regular every single day. But yeah, I guess I kind of started more doing that because IBM have a lot of like corporate social responsibility things they do, where they'll like have students in from schools and the office, or even arrange like for people to go to schools and do stuff. So that's been cool as well. That's been a good chance for like apprentices and other people to, I guess, get involved and give back to those kind of areas. And then, yeah, a lot of like networking and events, either in the tech industry or outside. So I'm part of a network outside of IBM called the Black Apprentice Network. And they really support like aspiring apprentices and also current apprentices to kind of like develop, learn about the application process and all that kind of stuff, and what they need to get into an apprenticeship, but then also like upskill and be successful in their careers. So you have a lot of access to networks like that, events like that, that you don't really, or you wouldn't really have access to if you had followed a more traditional route, which again is something I didn't really think about or see before starting the apprenticeship. But yeah, back over to you, Isabella.
Nice.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about this. Yeah, I guess this is like just some pictures of some stuff that we've done. We do quite a lot of events, as Isabella said. So on the more of the right side, we've had like social events where like we've collaborated with other companies and that kind of stuff. Had some other people come in as guest speakers. We had one with a university in America where some of their students came over and we gave them like a tour of the office. And this was one of our business resource groups, which I know Isabella leads one of them. But yeah, a lot of like cool events and like just different things to get involved in, to be honest.
Nice. Well, I know that we don't have much time. We've got about 20 minutes until it closes. So I guess we're going to fly through the next 3 slides so we can get to the loads of questions, which is really good. I guess we covered this in the beginning. If we apply to UCAS, through degree apprenticeships, yes, you have to apply for UCAS, like through the company and then UCAS. But we'll cover this in the next slide around how the application works. Does that sound okay, Nathan?
Yeah. I think that sounds pretty good.
Cool. Nathan, do you want to go through, I guess, this one?
Yeah, sure. So the kind of application process, the way that it works is you will firstly find the type of apprenticeship that you want to apply to, or whatever role it is that you're interested in, and then you'll do like a online application, which will have like a bunch of questions about, I guess, you and why you're interested in the role, and IBM, all of that kind of stuff. And then the application gets read by IBMers. So we have these things called foundation managers, which basically look after like early careers. So it could be some of them that are reading your applications. So that can take a little while sometimes. And then once you've done that and gotten past that process, you will be asked to basically do like a online assessment. I can't remember what they are called off the top of my head, but it's kind of like to test your, I guess, just see how you think, things like that. And then once you get past that stage, you come and do an assessment center. So those could be in person, but a lot of them are still online now. And it's essentially where you'll have an activity with like a group or individual, so like a interview type of activity, I guess. And then once you've gotten past that, then we'll make a decision on whether or not you get an offer. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
Nice. No, I guess the only thing I'd add to that is that they're looking for people who are open to learning. That's the main thing. If you're enthusiastic, you're open to learning, you're showing that you have that enthusiasm, then it's good to go. I also added into the chat, we currently have a role open in Hursley. This is a software level 6 digital technology solutions degree apprenticeship. I put the link in there, but the candidate must live within kind of the area of Hursley or near Winchester. I've added it there. If you are interested in other degree apprenticeship offers by IBM or internships as well, I'm just sending over a link and some details around internships, gap years, and also degree apprenticeships, and when and where you can see when it opens. So bear with me. I'm just sending it over now. And some details of how to apply. So feel free to take a screenshot because this chat will probably go away by the time we close the session. But yeah, really good. Highly recommend. So I think the next question we had was one tip you tell your younger self. Yeah, I guess, Nathan, do you want to do a quick tip and then we'll answer some questions?
Okay, cool. Yeah, for sure. I think I would say for me is to, I guess, like just focus on what it is that you want to do, and not necessarily like those that are like around you. I know when I was in secondary school in sixth form, it was very easy to look at like what my friends are doing and try and model things off of them. But the only way that you will be like happy with your decisions and like fulfilled and all of that kind of stuff is if you're making a decision for yourself, and not because it's what anyone else wants you to do. So yeah, just focus on what you're doing, what you want, because yeah, the skills that you've been given and the gifts that you have are different to everyone else around you. So only you can decide what's right for you.
Yeah, I second that as well. I guess one tip I give my younger self and to everyone here is, yes, we're doing a webinar on internships and degree apprenticeships, but that doesn't mean that university is bad as well. It depends on the type of person you are. There's so many different career paths you can go through. All of them are great, but it really depends on kind of what you're studying, how you learn, and kind of what are your goals, because there's no one correct pathway, one correct route, right? So kind of really sit and think about it, and what path is best for you. Because I know that there's different things like positive and negatives from everything, right? So it's just kind of weighing that out and seeing what's the best balance for you. Cool. So we have about 15 minutes to try and get through many questions. We'll try and go through as many as we can. So shall I start? I'll go into the Q&A one.
Okay.
So I think some of them we've already answered. Do you have advice? Yeah. Do you advise degree apprenticeships or uni for students who are studying BTech engineering extended diploma? So do you advise degree apprenticeships?
I would say, from my perspective anyway, like you kind of have to pick what you think is the right option for you. I'd say apprenticeships are not for everyone. Like they're very glamorized right now, but they are a lot of work. If I'm just going to keep it frank, like it's not easy doing an apprenticeship, having a full-time job and then doing uni as well. It's very hard to balance those two, especially as you get later into the apprenticeship as well. But obviously there's a whole host that comes with it. There's positives and negatives to everything, as Isabella said. So yeah, you kind of have to look at like, what are you going to be able to stick to, do a good job at, and handle? Because you don't want to like overwork yourself or do something that you're just going to not enjoy. So do as much research as you can and make your decision from there, I'd say.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm quite a structured person. So degree apprenticeship was best for me because I kind of like seeing like planning ahead. I'm like, okay, I start at 9, I do all of this, and then 5, I finish. But uni is a bit more different. You have like a lecture here and there throughout the week, and then you have to kind of plan yourself in those pockets of time. So, I mean, I can't say which one you want to do, but I think it really depends on kind of the person you are and how you study. If you're more hands-on, if you're more kind of reading and then applying, like in exams, also kind of, do you want to have more of a social life, the uni experience, or do you want to have more the kind of uni experience in the degree apprenticeship life? So it's kind of those things you have to think about as well. Another question we have is, when will the applications open? So we can't speak kind of for IBM and saying when it's going to open specifically, because I don't know. But I know in my general experience, usually apprenticeships open between kind of September to end of February, I believe. But it's like opening a job, right? So it's not like all jobs are going to be advertised on January 1st. So you have to keep on looking. Really good places to look is LinkedIn, Indeed, the government website. I'm not sure if there's anywhere else. Also sign up to different websites like IBM. I added you the link. Put your email there, sign up. They'll send you a direct notification to your email when they've opened. And when they do open and then they have no more spots, like there's like 1,000 applications or so, they will close it. So don't wait to apply like a week later, because it might have already closed and filled up all the spots. Nathan, question for you. Is there an age range to apply for an internship, IBM, or degree apprenticeship?
Internship, I don't believe so.
No.
I know for apprenticeships, they definitely are. Okay, so yeah, same for internships.
Yeah. No. Cool. Will these apprenticeships be available in London? I mean, we both do an apprenticeship in London, so they do open and close very, very quickly. So keep on top of it. Go into the mailing list, because once it's open, I highly recommend like go and apply. I guess another tip as well is get everything ready before to be able to apply. Don't wait until it opens and then start doing your CV, start doing your portfolio. No, I guess key things you need to have is a cover letter. I needed to have that when I applied, a CV, and then also because I'm doing a creative thing in design, I needed a portfolio. But that's my experience of the 3 things I needed to have ready. What about you, Nathan?
I think for me it was just cover letter and CV, and then I guess try your best as possible to have some answers to potential questions they might ask. I remember looking on like the student room and other places like that for like questions from previous years, so that might be a good place to look. For my year, or it might have been the year before or something, applications were open for literally an hour. So because they got so many people that applied, they had to close applications early. So I second your point of like, don't wait until it's open because you're not going to have time.
Yeah, I agree. So there's 2 questions. So, I mean, 3 questions that are kind of similar, where to find the answer to. So do you do level 3 or level 4 apprenticeships? Will there be opportunities in West Midlands? Will the opportunities be in every city? So again, I can't say for certain. I'm not the IBM hiring, I don't work in IBM hiring, but again, if you sign up to that, like click on the link, put your email in, sign up through that, then they'll send you all the degree apprenticeships and internships they're opening and closing. And then if one pops up that is in London or in your area, you can then go and apply. Does IBM offer support for finding local opportunities and for people who have issues with transport? What can I do if there's nothing local? I mean, we have an office in like Manchester, London, and then kind of more to the south as well in Hursley. Do we have, I think, more offices than that as well?
Yeah.
Usually when you apply and you're far away, they ask you to relocate. I've had a few friends who, for example, they're from London, but they found an opportunity in Manchester, and then they got a flat with like a group of Manchester people and then just stayed there and then worked in Manchester. But yeah, I'm not sure for that, so I can't say yes or no, in my opinion.
So someone asked, do you have to pay for the apprenticeship? You don't have to pay for the apprenticeship if you're like applying from the UK. I'm not sure how it works for international students or people like that. I'm not sure if you know, Isabella, but I don't believe so.
I don't know around international students, but I know that here in like UK, you don't pay for anything. They pay for your degree and you get a salary on top of that. Another question was, which tech company did you work for? Was it during high school you worked there?
Oh, I worked in Samsung in resale. So yeah, and it was in 6th form.
Cool. Someone asked a really good question. Like, does IBM value sustainability? Would you say it's an ethical company to work for? I think for me, yes. I mean, I work here and I've nearly been working here for 3 years and I really like it. And everything, I guess, we do think about sustainability as well and also ethical design. I'm more around kind of the ethical side of design, especially with the new AI kind of wave coming, right? So it's designing ethically. But yeah, I mean, from the design point of view, yes.
I think I'd say from what I've seen as well, yeah, like touching on the AI point, like there's been a lot of conversations and like work that's going into making some of our like AI offerings as ethical as possible. And I know especially last year, I think it was, or maybe the year before, our sustainability like offering had one of its best years or something like that. But yeah, there was a big push on like sustainability from IBM. So yeah.
Yeah. And if you go into the IBM website as well, you can see like all the different things we're doing around like ethics and sustainability, and there's lots. So you can always look at that. Is this open to international students studying a 1-year course? I'm not sure around international students studying a 1-year course, so I can't say for certain yes or no. So I have to kind of pause and go to the next question. How would you be able to beat the competition of a degree apprenticeship? Oh.
That's a very good question. I would say, just in general, in life, like, the more work that you put in, like, the more that you do, the higher that your chances of success are. So the more courses you do, the more insight days you go to, the more people that you network with on LinkedIn, like all of that stuff, you're increasing your chances of success every time you do that. If you leave something on the table that you haven't done, that's a chance.
Yeah.
That's an added chance of success that you could have that you're choosing not to add. Like, so yeah, I say just do as much as you can to like increase your chances of getting an apprenticeship.
Yeah, I mean, I just did everything to the point where my brain was just like, there's nothing else I can do. All I can do is just sit there and wait. So, yeah. Can you apply to these opportunities even if you have a degree? Yes, if it's not like completely the same or very similar to the subjects that you're going to be applying to. What does it mean to design ethically? I guess a really good example of this is that in user experience design, we learn a lot about kind of how people interact with technology and the psychology behind it. And we have some different kind of dark UX patterns, which is what we call like bad user experience, in the fact that people use psychology to design things so that it makes people addicted. So a really good example of this is that if you go on like Shein and then you're going to buy something and then you see, oh, there's only like a red dot and it says low in stock, or buy this now, or the counter's going down, otherwise you're going to lose the discount. That's all dark UX. So that's not really ethical because it's pressuring the user to make a decision quicker. So that's just a small example of many different things that you could learn and study about. I've studied GCSEs in UK and doing A-level now, but not yet a citizen here. Am I considered a local? Again, all these things around like international applications, I can't say because, I mean, yeah, I live here and I was born here, so I couldn't say. But I don't know, Nathan, is there anywhere that we can find this out?
I would say if it's not like on the IBM website, I guess we could try and find out for you guys if you want. I know we're going to put our socials at the end. So if you want to reach out to us on like LinkedIn and ask us there, and then we can ask someone in the company who will know the answer, and then we can get back to you guys that way.
Yeah, I'll put my socials down there now, but I believe that if you have an A-level and you have a GCSE, then it should be fine. But yeah, put it in there. It's got a bit of a weird formatting, but I know we've got about 2 minutes, so we'll try and wrap up on the questions. So first link and names is my one, and then the other one's Nathan's link tree. Let me see what else. I know there was other questions throughout the top. Yeah, I think that's all then that we have today, and we've got about 2 minutes. So I guess the last question we could answer is, do holiday work experience help get a degree apprenticeship? What do you think, Nathan?
The holiday work experience?
Yes, I think they assume like, I'm assuming internships or like work experience during your summer holidays.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say any work experience that you have is like relevant. It doesn't have to just be like technology or whatever, because it's all about the like transferable skills that you're gaining whilst doing the work experience. So whatever time you do it, like if it's on weekends, if it's summer, like, it's all relevant.
Perfect. Well, I think that's all then for today. We'll pass it back to the host.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for going through that and answering so many questions the way you did as well. Excuse me. Anyway, yeah, so thank you everybody for obviously joining. If we didn't get around to your questions, I do apologise. As they've already put the socials in there. Feel free to use them. Just to quickly answer Jan's question at the bottom, this session is recorded. It will be uploaded to Career Map TV on YouTube. We aim to get it uploaded within the week, but if it doesn't turn up in the week, just give us a couple more days. But perfect. So yeah, again, thank you for everybody for joining. Thank you for IBM for doing such a great job. And all that's left to do is say goodbye, and I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye.